My name's Cole, and I'm a vegan YouTuber and an animal rights activist. And today we're asking the question, like, why aren't you vegan yet? So the first question that I'm going to ask is, how do you define veganism?
Veganism, I would say people who want to keep the earth more healthy, like sustainable, instead of eating red meats or anything, they want to do more plant-based things. And I feel like that's awesome. Yeah, that's just awesome. I like that.
Would you say that veganism is more about the environment or animals?
I feel like it's both. You can't really say it's like one or the other because both are very important to the ecosystem and to the planet.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that.
So you said your name was Mike?
Johnny.
Johnny, I'm
Johnny.
so sorry.
You're
man.
good. You're good.
So
man.
sorry
You're
about
good.
that.
You're good.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Oh yeah,
so,
man, out in the seat, man.
All right. Yeah, it's hot as a mofo out here. But okay, so cool. So I think the definition of veganism, according to the Vegan Society, is veganism is a philosophy that seeks to exclude as far as possible and practicable cruelty towards animals for purposes of food, entertainment, clothing, and any other reason, right? But you're also correct. You're 100% correct, because there are people, it does mention the environment too, and plant-based diets are so much better for the environment.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever looked at the like the water footprints for like dairy and stuff like that?
No, I did not. No.
Yeah.
No.
There's a website called Our World in Data, and they take peer-reviewed research and they make statistics out of it. And if someone chooses, say for instance, a plant-based milk over an animal-based milk, the plant-based milk uses like far less water than the animal-based milk.
I actually drink almond milk. Like when I go to the store, I get milk, 2% milk, and then I get almond milk. So this is actually an interesting statistic to learn. So that's good. I knew almond milk was better. I just didn't know like how exactly. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but almond milk actually tastes better in my opinion. Like
I think so too.
Straight up, almond milk tastes better.
Right.
I've actually been looking forward to getting one of those. Like you can make your milk at home using nuts and almonds.
I've seen that. Yeah.
I want to do that.
That would save money too.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I think it's worth a couple extra bucks per week to prevent harming animals for milk.
Yes, not only that, like I said, it just tastes better. It don't matter your opinion on it, it just tastes better.
Right. Okay, so the question today is why aren't you vegan? So
not 100% vegan. I just haven't given the plant-based foods a try. And I would say basically like our society with inflation and everything, I feel like why America is like not that healthy right now is because when you go into a grocery store and you see the vegan options, like all this stuff, it's a little bit more expensive than the ones that are, a little bit more calories and packing on all that fat and stuff. So I feel like most people are like, veganism, and then I spend more money on that, or should I just be a fat, and just get the cheap stuff, and, generate over the great value, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, but yeah, I feel like that's the reason. But I have gone vegan in some ways, like I said, with the almond milk, and I do powdered sugar for my high protein, low cal diet for working out and stuff too, and that's a lot of power foods like kale and all that stuff.
Right.
Kachava, that's a sponsorship. Give me sponsored. Kachava is really good for the environment, plant-based. So, oh yeah.
So let me ask you this, right? So I think if I'm hearing you correctly, you said the reason you're not vegan is it might be a bit more expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it would be a little bit more expensive. Like with the almond milk, I could afford that. I could pay a little bit more money and get the better tasting milk and like cost effective, better for the environment. But in some options, I'm seeing that in the store.
They are more expensive.
Yeah,
you're right.
So like you'll see a burger in the store, and then you'll see a vegan burger or like 100% organic, and it'll be like $5 extra. So like most people are gonna generate towards the cheaper option. If those options were as cheap as the Great Value or the cheaper brands, I feel like I would generate way more towards that, like in all honesty.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yes, I would, because I live in paycheck to paycheck most of the time, so I gotta watch what I spend, everything like that. So
I hear you, man. And I think you bring up a good point. One of the reasons that animal products are less expensive than the plant-based alternatives is because the government directly subsidizes animal products, but they don't for plant-based alternatives.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that factoid right there. He got me with that one. This man knows his stuff now.
They give billions of dollars to the meat and dairy industry each year. I watched a video recently by Natalie Fulton, and she said that if the dairy industry didn't receive the direct subsidies, that a gallon of milk, instead of being $4.07, would be $11.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
So then the almond milk would be cheaper, right?
Yeah, way cheaper. Way cheaper.
Yeah.
This man knows his stuff. Make sure you turn into everything he does, man, because this guy knows his stuff.
And on the second point, right, I agree wholeheartedly that a lot of the vegan alternatives are more expensive than the regular animal flesh, based options.
That's sad to hear.
It is.
Like,
It's
really
sad. It sucks. And I do think more people would be vegan if the mock meats were less expensive.
Yeah.
Because I believe what you're saying 100%.
Yeah, because I do almond milk, I do salad, all that normal stuff that you would see. But when it comes to meat and stuff, I'll look at the plant-based meat, and that's way more expensive. So I'll just get my regular red meat. I feel like I said, that the cost effectiveness, like we've been talking about.
Well, and I'll tell you this: there are some replacements for red meat, right? That are cheaper, that are just cheaper, that are vegan, and there are foods that you can get instead of the meat replacements that are more expensive, like tofu. Tofu is cheaper than chicken in like most grocery stores. Tofu.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Now it tastes a little bland to some people. You kind of have to season it. Learn how to season it right. But the lentils and the tofu, chickpeas, these are all cheaper than animal products, right?
Yeah.
So, and they're healthier than the mock meats because they have less saturated fat.
Okay, I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yeah. So, but let's talk about ethics for a second. And I don't know how much time you have, but I do want to get to ethics because for me, that's the most important reason I'm vegan. Obviously I'm kind of fat.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big boy.
Unite now.
Yeah,
Come on.
big boys unite.
Yeah, there we go.
So I like to eat, and I eat a lot of good vegan food, and I'm not vegan for health reasons, although there are like many reasons to be vegan that are health related. Lower cholesterol, saturated fat, etc. But what do you feel? How do you feel about animal cruelty, like cruelty to animals?
No, I have a cat at home, and I don't play that.
Yeah.
If I see it like on the street, like any of that, I don't tolerate that. I'm like that one person that will like say something. I mean, like everyone knows of everything I do and my music and all that. They know I don't tolerate any of that. Like I'm actually really excited when I see those the Humane Society stickers after every movie.
Right.
I'm actually kind of excited to see that because I'm like, because in the horror movies you might see a dog or something like that, and then they remind you at the end. They remind you at the end.
Harmed in the making of this.
You're
film,
like, okay,
right?
good, okay.
It's a relief.
Yes.
Yeah. So Johnny, what makes your cat an individual like worthy of protection and defense of their life?
Because you took that responsibility. I mean, I rescued a mutt cat off the street, basically, and now 2 years later, she's my pride and joy. It's just, having empathy for animals that don't have anything, because this cat came up to me in the rain and was just like, wow. Take me home, take care of me, and it was like real small kitten. So
they sound adorable too, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, it's just commitment and just taking care of something that needs somebody, and that makes you feel better if something needs you.
Well, why wouldn't we kill and eat cats for food? Why would that bother you if I did that?
Yeah, because you hear the rumors about certain restaurants and everything growing up. I'm not gonna name drop or anything, but you hear that and you're like, oh no. So like even when I was younger, I steered clear of those certain restaurants. But when I got older, that was just like urban myth. But no, I wouldn't do that. But I feel like you're gonna contradict me here in a second. So go ahead.
So what makes it wrong to hurt a cat, but not like a pig, a cow, or a chicken? What's the difference? What's the trait?
I feel like it's just a lot of trades and businesses doing that model, like trading, like the whole pig and cow slaughter. That's like a whole business model.
Right.
So I feel like with the business behind it, people are like, oh, okay, not only can I eat this if I'm hungry, but I can sell it to the slaughterhouse for X and X amount of money. And do it like that, and not have to worry about it. It won't be on my hands. And the butcher's like, oh, this is my job, so I'm not feeling bad because this ain't my business.
You're kind of disconnected from it in a way.
Yeah.
No, I agree, and I felt that way
But
too.
it could happen to cats,
Yeah.
like you're saying.
Because if we were standing in the slaughterhouse right now and they were slitting pigs' throats and we're watching the blood like spray all over the ground, and people had to watch that every time they bought like animal products, I mean, do you think that would like less people would buy them?
Yeah, the effect will go
Yeah.
wild. The
So,
effect will go wild.
let me ask you this: were there any? You said that you think it's okay to kill pigs, cows, and chickens because businesses do it and it's kind of normalized in society. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Can you think of any other businesses in time that were like normalized in society but that were actually completely unethical?
Oh man, there's a few, and I came up with the 40s and World War II. That's the immediate business practice. That
Yeah,
I know that
yeah.
had nothing to do with it, but I was like, oh, he got me right there.
I think Hitler was killing Jews because it made economic sense. You know.
I would say, how they used to hunt foxes back in the English times,
Yeah.
like how they used to do that normally. I feel like that's similar a little bit. And then they stopped doing that. That's like animal cruelty.
So you think fox hunting's unethical?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
What makes it unethical to you? Why do you think that's unethical?
I feel like just like you're saying, it's disturbing the animal's natural habitat. Like it's going in there and just murdering them without anything,
Yeah.
no sport related, no nothing. So it's just like
Because they want to live like us, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Do you think that cows, pigs, and chickens like want to live like we do? That they
Yes, I do. But
what's up.
they don't have mouths like us, so they can't talk like us.
they can't speak for themselves. You know, they are oppressed, but they can't speak on behalf of themselves. Yeah. So now that you can kind of, what do you think about revisiting that response? Do you think that's a valid reason to kill pigs, cows, and chickens just because it's normalized in society, or is that not a good enough reason?
No, that actually is a good reason. This kind of conversation is like changing my little world perspective a little bit, because he wrapped it all in a circle. He got me right there. He was like, hey, if this is bad, then why is that not bad? You know, that just makes you want to go home and order some tofu and a lot of other plant-based stuff, because this is not good. The only meat-based products I would say I would get every week is like beef and chicken. That's like it. Maybe some turkey for like Thanksgiving or something like that, but like that's mostly the meats I consume, and that can always be substituted. So
Do you think killing animals for those products is unethical? Why or why not?
I feel like now, a little bit, because if we won't kill foxes or my cat, because no one touching my damn cat, why should we do it like that? We should make it normal in society to be like, hey, it's cool to eat tofu. I've only had tofu like once or twice in my life, but I'm not afraid to go revisit it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go home and tell my girl, be like, hey, hey, this guy changed my perspective, man. Like, we're gonna have to go buy some tofu and stuff, because she loves sushi and stuff. So.
Well, let me ask you this. I think I'll make this the final question, because it sounds like that, that you've become aware of some things in your worldview that aren't morally consistent in practice, because I feel like you would defend that cat, and I also feel like if you knew pigs, cows, and chickens, because people keep them like pets, that you would want to protect them too, right?
Oh yeah. Like one of my friends, like she has a possum as a pet. And I feel like if you could have a possum as a pet, like you could do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you should be able to keep pigs and stuff as pets too, and they'd be just as important.
Right. So let me ask you this. This will be the final question, right? Say there's a man that beats his wife. Would you agree that domestic violence is like unethical?
Yes.
Because
on all accounts, yeah. I grew up in like a very violent household, so
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I don't really tolerate any of that.
Yeah.
So, if I do have kids, I always said like, hey, I'm gonna show them the life I never had, because I grew up in a very hostile environment and stuff. But that don't affect the person when they get older. They chip over the shoulder, a lot of therapy and everything helps them get over it.
Well, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah, I'm very against that. Anytime anybody talks about that stuff, I'm like, no, that's not good. I'm kind of like a therapist to my friends sometimes too.
We'll pass on that then. Let's say there's a guy. Let's say there's a guy that like serial farts in the elevator, right? So he goes into these elevators and he farts in them, and people are like gagging and shit, and he does that all the time, right? So I think we can agree it would be good if he did that less, right?
Yeah.
But wouldn't you think that it's still unethical if he was doing that 7 days a week for him to do that like 1 day a week? That would still be unethical.
Yeah, unethical if he knows he's doing it. Like, come on.
He does it on purpose.
Yeah, like if you're trying to go to your desk and you gotta be on the 12th floor and this dude farts and gets off on the 3rd or 4th floor, like, I'm gonna be mad if he's doing it at least once a day. I'm gonna have to go down to his floor and be like, hey man, hey partner, what's going on?
So
You need to keep that.
I would say in the same way, right, that like reducing animal products, the consumption is great because it's taking money away from these businesses that are treating animals like objects instead of living beings. It's great if you reduce, that's wonderful. But I think it's still unethical to purchase any animal products when there's a cheaper alternative available.
Yes, exactly. I fully agree.
Awesome. Well, Johnny, thank you so much for talking with me. And
Hey.
this was a great interview, and thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.